How could she just? Well, the brain is wacky. There we go. Red Mine is in the house. Freaky Jersey in the house. FJT getting his Spanish on. Español para todos. Love it. Matt Downer off his hike listening to Slayer, eating his peanuts and raisins. Jawara is in the house. Yeah, Coach Greg's on right now. I saw it's a Bill Cosby. I wasn't into the, I get it. I'll watch it later. But MGTOW Life in the house, done riding his motorcycle. We got T-Talks in the house. Good to see you. Sherman Smith, what's up with you? Sache B all the way from France. Hey, Rad, nice to see you back from the gym. I went there as well today. Well, actually, no, I rode my bike today. I was in Park City, Satch, and there was a couple of French guys on the trail. And I couldn't speak it, but I thought about my French brethren. Did you see what happened to MLB player Ben Zobrist? I heard about it. Welcome to Costco. I love you. In the house. I'm so proud of how much self-taught Spanish I learned. You speak it very well, my friend. And as considering that you haven't spent a lot of time in countries, I learned it on the streets of Venezuela. But very well, very well. You got the good sabes pronunciarlo muy bien. Cheaper groceries, love it. My exotic sugar baby out somewhere with CEO of Walgreens. Jawari's got a new pad for the red pillars. We're gonna have to hang out there someday. It's too hot today. I was lazy this morning. Best time to ride when it's hot. The morning, would agree, especially mountain biking. Although I've gone up 96 degrees on the bike, for some reason my body does okay. Hydrated and everything. All right, I have this question today from a very, very good friend. How does she move on so fast? How could she? I gave her everything. I gave her 10 years, 12 years. I bought her a car. I took care of her dad when he was in the hospital. I took care of her mother's bills. I gave her everything. I did everything she asked and more. How can she just move on so fast? Right? How can she just move on so fast? And let's talk about it. But first, FJT, learning the Spanish. I'll be in Mexico in 2 weeks, my gents. And we'll go from there. I might make a Spanish video. 98 degrees with the Jawara. We've got Don't Quit, Persevere all the way from the East Coast. She moves on quick because her mind was made up months prior to the breakup or dating someone else with you. Well said. Rafal Sla. You guys can run the chat. This is perfect. She didn't invest. No investment, no loss. Very well said. What did she invest besides potentially a physical component, right? David Castro's in the house. Good to see you, brother. She moves on so fast. How? Women love opportunistically, men express pure love. That is 100% truth right there, guys. So he's been out of shape. My buddy's been out of shape because she's moved on. She literally moved on. A week ago, they were laying down horizontally, and 2 days later, she broke up, and now she's got a new boyfriend, posting on social media. This gal's 40. He's 45. They're in love. He can't understand it. So we had to go through it. Because she had a beta orbiter that was on her phone, cheating with him for a month before she jumped on her new life. Exactly. She knew this guy before the breakup happened. Probably 1 to 3 months, maybe more, 6 months. Now, why can they move on? The theme is not how can she move on so fast. You know, that's part of it, but why? Well, their brains are different than ours. Their brains do not operate the same way a logical brain does. Now, his logic, what you did yesterday doesn't count today. Totally right, T-Tox. And I would say what you did 2 minutes ago doesn't matter in this moment. But that is our brains. Our brains are extremely different. The female brain is emotional. Okay? We know that. Then there's some women that have more of a logical brain, but for the most part, the majority of women's brain are emotional. So their emotions trump anything that was done yesterday, a good thing, what have you. They're in the moment, and you cannot sway that. Now, a logical man looks at it and says, geez, I made a great investment a year ago, 2 years ago. I did this, I did that. We look at this as a logical way of, I sacrificed, I put in, I invested. Who said it? Red Man Mind said, we invest. How much do they invest in the relationship? I think men cater to women much more than women cater to men outside of the physical, right? So our brains are different. And us logical men, my buddy's logical, and I kept saying, you are using a logical mind to understand an emotional person. You can't do that. And he said, why do they do it? And I said, 2 words, female nature. It's as simple as that. Female brain, 2 words. They move on because that is how they're equipped, okay? It goes back, and I have a theory, it goes back to the days of the caveman when they were left alone and the guy was out, whatever, but that's another topic. But that is the reality. Female nature is why they move on, okay? We cannot approach an emotional situation with a logical brain. I cannot dig a hole with a rake, right? I need a shovel to dig a hole. I can't dig a hole with scissors. I can't dig a hole with a plate. You might be able to in the sand. But what I'm saying is you have to understand we are not dealing with the same tools. We are logic, they're emotional. We understand ourselves, and we have to understand them. That's why it's so hard for men to move on, because we've invested. We don't like to lose an investment. We get rejected. We don't like the rejection. We try to save it because we've invested for 5, 10, 12 months, 15 years, whatever, and we don't want to see it go. Female brain versus male brain. That's it. I asked Tropical Sugar Baby to move in, and she said my MGTOW compound isn't good enough. She wants an 8-figure man. Pretty soon she'll want a 9-figure man. It doesn't ever end. Who wins the romance game? Did Brad Pitt win? He had money, status, and power, but he was also married to crazy. T-Talk Life. T-Talk is laying it down. Give her a kidney yesterday, she'll break up with you tomorrow. Ain't that well said? That is well said. Red pill is important while in a relationship. Became red pilled in the middle of a relationship last year. I saw the signs. They dumped her just to have the upper hand, and I was right. She was cheating. That story is so common at SatchAB. FJT. Men will blame themselves when she moves on or cheats. Self-deprecation is one of the worst things a man can do. When in reality, she cheated because she wanted to. Nobody put something to her head and told her to cheat. Isn't it funny how we make excuses for bad behavior? And that's what he's doing, my buddy. He's making excuses. If I would have been this way, if I would have done this. No, it's Berfault's law. It's as simple as that. It's female brain versus a male brain. We're not hating on the female. We're understanding that they're emotional, and our logical brain can't grasp it because we try to use logic to fix everything. They don't run that way. Their operating system is iOS, ours is Android. Sound engineer in the house all the way from Eastern Europe. Good to see you, brother. Women being absolutely nothing, bring nothing to the table but the V peace leave. No investment, which makes it easy to monkey branch. Isn't that funny? We talk about that. If you're not invested, here's a classic example. I remember I bought my daughter a car when she was 16, Honda Civic. Little thing reliable car. I don't know, I paid 10, 12 grand for it. I knew it would last. Well, she didn't have any investment in it. She drove that damn car like crap. She crashed into a couple snowbanks, didn't take care of it on the inside. Rode a tire rash or wheel rashed it on curbs. Just could care less about it. Spilled coffee in it, spilled whatever. She had no investment into it, so she didn't care about it. Hence, modern day relationships. T-Tox, they are masters of gaslighting. They're masters of much more than that. And they are master at relationships and getting a man to getting the charm of, they are not dumb, guys. And we're only here to understand female nature. That's why we're here. Okay. And so we can navigate a life knowing this. How much better is our life going to be knowing that the most love I give to her is probably not going to be reciprocated back? So why don't we put that love into ourselves and build ourselves and chase purpose? Women only want one thing more. I love it. Love it. The minute you save her, the next she blows the whistle for the grape juice. Correct? Dr. Dre wife had a $1.5 billion alpha man. Let's chill to the next episode. That's right. That's right, he did. My buddy's girlfriend cheated and tried to pass it off as poly. His response? Well, I also made some mistakes. Guys, if you take your lady back, you've disrespected yourself. And she disrespects you 10 times more. Cut the cord and move the hell on, because you're going to bathe in dirty bathwater to try to get clean. Now, how smart is that? You going to get clean in dirty bathwater? No. But no, we try to make ourselves and self-deprecate. I was there. I did it. I know exactly where we're at. We do not excuse bad behavior. It's as simple as that. And we got to get that through our heads. We got to help other dudes get it through their head. The bad behavior is programming. Something we did, they got bored, the dopamine wore off, contempt crept in. We could have been part of that. They could have been part of that. Our brain was logical. Their brain was emotional. We didn't give enough attention. They didn't give enough attention, and hence the breakup. That's what we're understanding here. Carl in the house all the way back from the East Coast. Cardi B gets a pass when she admits she drugged and stole from men, yet Cosby spent almost 3 years in jail. Janice Dickinson admits she lied, but because she didn't do it under oath, it didn't count. Remember, I said this to my buddy who said, how could she move on so fast? She also lied to him. I said, it's not lying. There's no such thing as a lie in my book with 98% of females. It's the emotion they feel in the moment. So if they're feeling like they didn't do anything, which they did, it's not a lie. It's an emotion, right? That is how morality is trumped. Safe Haven in the house. Good to see you. As always, War Goat, do you watch Kevin Samuels? I've watched a few of his stuff. I like it when he holds women to the carpet. I think he's more wanting to change women's thoughts so that they can potentially have better relationships. Great. I hope he makes progress. He's got a shit ton of, I think I started watching him when he had like 10,000. Now he's over 1 million. So his message is obviously getting out. Satch AB, being cheated on is the worst feeling I've ever experienced, and I saw a lot of hard stuff in my life in the French military, but being cheated is extremely damaging to self-esteem and ego. I was cheated on. I know exactly what that feels like. But you know what? I am so glad that happened. And so should you be. If you're Lady Monkey Branch and you are here, you have the golden nugget right here in your hand. You've got a pearl of wisdom. a pearl that you can move forward and you don't ever have to be cheated on again. You never have to go through heartbreak again knowing this. Because giving something to somebody, knowing that you're not going to get a return on investment is the best position to be in because we put all that energy into us. Simple as that. I get my birdie bath butter from Bella Delphine for $20 a pop. Oh, you know what? I cannot believe she sold her bath water. Great that she hustled, but how sad for the men that bought that. What a bunch of simps. Dating coaches always blame men when a woman cheats on a man just because they want to sell their so-called games. I'm amazed how inexperienced men fall for it. Sound engineer, you're 100% correct. Men fall for it. The inexperience. Because it's a programming thing. If a woman leaves us, we did something wrong, right? We fucked up. Now there are D-bags out there. There is a percentage of men that are not good men. But for the majority of men, we try to use logic to fix something, to understand, and we take the blame. That's what men do. That is part of our provider programming. We want to protect the woman, and so we're going to take the bullet. And that bullet can be physical or emotional or mental. That's why we do it. It's part of our programming. That screwhead MGTOW always says, cut that biatch off. Love it. Sugar Baby headed the NBA Finals to try to snag a ball player. Yeah. Hell yeah, she is, Joara, and she's not going to end there. Once she cheats, she's contaminated, making it harder to pair bond with you. Don't quit persevere, laying it down in Chinatown. Rad, I appreciate you. Visionary Fit, tell me where you're from, brother. I don't think I've seen you in the chat, but glad to have you. Eric's Vermanis, what's your opinion on whores? They do have their place in life. They've been around since day one. I think women if you're considering escorts, they do have their place in life. They're pretty much against the law in most areas because they offer a service that traditional women can't. And so the government doesn't like that. But a lot of people have said if they had a woman that they could have twice a month and pay her X amount, they would come out way ahead than marrying that gal and having more great product. These escort women know men, and they know how to keep men engaged and keep coming back for more. So I'm sure they give a great product. Do I do it? I've never done it. But I don't think a man seeking an escort is a bad thing. Was looking at houses with X. She was going to contribute $1,500 to my $15,000. 10%. There you go, guys. She's going to put in a 10%. That can be physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual. You put in 90%. I think that is exactly right. Cheaper groceries. I just answered that. My money will never be spent on a woman regardless of her troubles. You're putting yourself first, Matt. I suspect I was cheated on. All the hints said yes, but I can never know for sure. Not knowing but suspecting is horrid. I had to get tested just in case. It's a lot frequent. I was talking to someone, and they didn't think that cheating went on with women as much as it did. I said, it is rampant. Promiscuity is out of control, guys. Don't question the fact that your wife or your girlfriend has or has not done it. Emotionally, I bet it's a higher percentage of cheating. Physical, I believe an emotional affair is worse than a physical affair. That's just me. A year ago, I took my car in for service, and a woman walked in the shop. Told the mechanic something is seriously wrong with the car. Come to find out, she never got an oil change ever. Oh, that reminds me of JT and my mother-in-law. She would never change the oil. The engine would, fall apart, and she'd blame her husband. Accountability is a wonderful thing if you take ownership of it. But we know what happens. Oh, anybody wants some of my bathwater? I'm a pretty cool guy, and I need to pay child support. How much are you going to sell it for? That happens, man. Invest your $15,000 in yourself, brother. Serious return on investment. Damn right. Heartbreak was extremely tough, but it's the best thing that can happen to a man. Yes, it is. You have to get over it to become the best version of yourself. Your channel saved me. You deserve more subs. I think if I had more subs, we couldn't chat all the time. At least me respond. I couldn't manage it. It'd be crazy. I'd have to get whacked out moderators. Less is more. But the reality is this: we help others understand female nature. Simple as that. We don't hate it. We understand it. We navigate life by knowing it. Put your investment in you. I guarantee if you invest in yourself, you will have an amazing life. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. The whole loneliness thing about not having a woman to take care of you in the future, that doesn't exist. You can be lonely in a marriage. You can be lonely in a relationship. From Tijuana, Baja California. What's up, fellas? Enjoying the podcast. Keep spreading the good news. Rad. I will be in Baja, La Paz, in 2 weeks. Anthony? Sup, everyone? Did you hear, guys? Bill Cosby was set free today. I did. That was big time news. Still going on. Yeah, something about the trial. But hey, who knows, right? But it has seemed, I don't know what to say. All I know is he's released. He was charged. And now it's overthrown. You're from Philly. Visionary Fit. Collegeville. Spent some time in Collegeville and King of Prussia. Eric's with the emoji. Escorts are cheaper than girlfriend and wife, says War Goat. I would agree. And a better product. Jeroen Markel from Brooklyn. How you doing, brother? She's going to be dribbling many basketballs until the fourth quarter. FJT laying it down in Chinatown. All women give us is something. In some cases, debt and disease. In some cases, nuggets of knowledge, which enables a life of freedom for men. MGTOW Life laying it down to Chinatown. 15 honey to 15,000. I hope you got a great contract set up for the house. Don't trust any female because she will text you good night while she texts another guy. I can't sleep. I've seen it in my own life, guys. I had a gal, I think I remember telling you about that. She had called me she sent me a text at 11:30. I hadn't seen her for 3 months. Cut the cord. She said she went to dinner with some really nice guy, but all she could think about was hanging out with Rad. Happens. Call Me Coon is in the house. We're doing good now that you're here. The VGS Becor, unless you're a wealthy man, I don't believe escorts are going to satisfy you and not be at East after spending big time and money. There are still women. At least you can get in and get out. Our brother Rolly from Ecuador never filled us in on Ecuadorian females. Depends on where they're at. A lot of them are European blood and white skin or very light skin. Others are indigenous, mixed with that whole Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador. There's so many different bloodlines. You've got Arabic, Italian, German, indigenous. That's why they're so gorgeous. The women in Guayaquil are beautiful as well, Quito. I remember I was in Venezuela. I saw this blonde Ecuadorian with green eyes. Her skin looked like permanent tan. Just gorgeous. Dang. I thought she was American. Nope. Ecuatoriana. She moves on fast because her girlfriends tell her she deserves better. You go, girl. Eat, pray, love. The best ROI is yourself laying truth down. Jerron from Brooklyn. No sleep till Brooklyn. I was listening to the Beastie Boys today. Cosby wasn't guilty to begin with. Well, it sure looks like that with them overturning it. You'll realize her friend wasn't her friend after she leaves you. A woman's male friend is her replacement. Call me Coon. Guys, every girl that's been a friend of mine, 9 times out of 10, there has been a throwdown. It's very rare. There are some gals that I talk to that hasn't been the case, but a lot of them have or have wanted to. There's an attraction between a male and a female, regardless. Especially if you have tons of money before you're elderly, just set up your legal stuff. Before you lose it, get squared away. Having a woman around then is irrelevant. MGTOW Cowboy in Chicago. Car story. I was young and dumb. I didn't change my oil for over 2 years. Had to replace the engine. Cost me $2,500, honey. Here's a great analogy. You don't take care of your engine, sludge builds up. Now, you don't take care of your life, your mental head here, sludge builds up. Eventually, you're going to have to replace it because it's broken. Well said, MGTOW Cowboy. MGTOW Life, always stick to this one bit of knowledge. Men first. Well said, my brother. Laboucher, a woman defied God and went against his rules to eat the forbidden fruit. How the F can she not defy and cheat on her human counterpart? All the way back to the beginning of time with some truth right there. I always said, I was talking to some guy, and I know the Bible very well. And I said, Eve deceived Adam. She ate of the tree of good and evil, forbidden fruit. And then she got Adam to eat of it. And then what did Adam do? They were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and Adam defended her. Isn't that interesting? You break up with someone, or she breaks up with you, and we try to take the blame. Or she monkey branch, and then we try to defend them. Kind of goes back to some really systematic mental thinking, if you think about it. Adam left with Eve. My Gorp now has some dried cranberries. Attaboy. Love cranberry. You know what I've been eating a lot now? I eat oatmeal before I ride, and I have massive amounts of energy. That and maca powder. Jeff McDougall in the house. Good to have you, brother. You're so freaking correct. Her friends are louder than God in her mind. Damn right. And she also competes with her friends. Think about that. She listens to them, then competes, then hates them, and the cycle repeats. Single females keep females single. Yes, they do. Absolutely. That's 100% proven too. Is it possible to find a submissive wife? I'm interested in polygamy. Abdurrahman Hussein. I would love to know where you're from. Submission would be very interesting, my friend. If you can find one, let me know. Every woman has a backup, period. MGTOW Life. Women are not stupid. They have multiple plans available to them. You ever been to Thailand? I have not, and I want to go really bad, Eric. Tell us how it is. Tell us how Thailand is. She cheats because her hypergamy kicks in and works and screws her boss. Hypergamy is a real thing. Now, we're talking about the 98% of women that fit in this category, but there is a 1% to 2% that I think that are decent women. I'm not a fatalist that 100% are all bad, nor are 100% of men all good. Timmy Kramer in the house. The difference between men and women is men have to pay for their beer in a bar and women do not. Women can go in a bar and kind of rotate and hover around different groups of men, and they get their beer tabs and bar tabs paid for. Man, wouldn't that be great if a woman paid for your beer? Satan is the female's daddy. Well, Lucifer did get Eve to partake of the fruit. Jerron, there's no error in that statement. War Goat, I'm not religious, but I do find it interesting how there's so much overlap between religions when it comes to women becoming a problem when in position of power. Read Corinthians in the Bible, New Testament. Listen to Paul. He was a single man. I believe he was MGTOW as well. The main question is, how do all these girls jumping from men to men will end up? They were not wired to be that promiscuous. Well, we know that they can't pair bond after so many men. Physically, they cannot have an emotional connection because they've had a lot of DNA in them, right? But the reality is, I think it messes with them mentally. I know a gal who's probably gone on 500 dates, probably been with 20% of them, and she is guy to guy. She cannot connect, she cannot bond, and it's just sad. So she's going to end up probably lonely, or with like a Forrest Gump type. Labusha, the majority of the dwellers of the fire are women, Prophet Muhammad. Is that from the Quran? Very well said. I want to go to Thailand, especially Pattaya. I would love to go to Thailand. 2 years, because I want to go for like 6 weeks. And then to Vietnam, and then to like maybe Cambodia. I'm from Somalia. Most of my uncles and male relatives have 4 wives who compete for their attention, so I think it's possible. Well, it's possible. That might be the best potential. I mean, Abraham in the Bible was a polygamist. He had multiple wives. But, you know, I know probably in Somalia you guys have the internet and technology and apps, so let us know how that works. I'd be very curious, Mr. Hussein. It's quite common in Africa. I think the West forces men to be simps. Yes, it does. Who can't express their masculinity? Well, most men in the U.S., if you do, it's toxic, right? Somalia, great to have you in the house. Peak delusion from them requires peak lockout game from us. Peak whoredom requires peak pimp hand. Ooh, love that, Red Mine. Love that. Well said. She cheats because she gets wasted on girls' night and Chad grinds up on her on the dance floor. Don't quit, persevere, laying it down. Wargo, Swedish women want the government to do something about Thai women stealing the men they think they're entitled to. And then the Swedish men get with the Swedish women and they divorce them and they rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. If they can't, it's funny. They can't have their cake and eat it too. So men are deciding that maybe there's a certain area in the world where women will love them. Thailand, Vietnam, Asia. But female nature is female nature, regardless of the continent, the country, the skin color, the culture, the religion. The world's flat, guys. The internet exists in Nome, Alaska, and it exists in Baja California. Think about that. I never thought I'd say this. I'm moving to Somalia. Be careful, because there was a movie written about that. Was it Black Hawk Down? Was that Somalia? Females harvest retain the DNA of their male lovers in their bloodstream. Microchimerism. Yes. I was watching something on that a couple years ago. Big John did something on that. And he said that they take on the characteristics of the different male partners that they've had within them. That's why there's anger issues and masculine type behaviors and so forth. Well said, Jerome. Never had an escort and don't see myself using one. Women aren't worthy of my hard-earned money. They'll be lucky if they get a date from me. I've gotten it. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? You know, it's funny. A lot of women will say, I'm not going to put out anymore. I want a relationship. 3 to 7 dates, 10 dates. I want to be chased. Well, that's not the reality. Feminism has caused that to the free love in the 60s screwed that. You can't have it both ways. Right, FJT? FJT, we all gotta get down. We gotta create, we gotta get, you know, you're on the East Coast. Let's meet in Cartagena. You wanna go to Cartagena? We'll drive out, whoever wants to go. We're going to Cartagena, and then we're going to Santa Marta. We're gonna go to Minca. We'll go out to Parque Tayrona. Spanish is wonderful. The Colombian people are amazing. Let's just hit it. Every one of us. I hear Pattaya is basically the sex work capital of the world. I think I heard that too. Someone was talking about that. Call me coon. Ever caught your girlfriend staring at you but saying nothing? Idiots will mistake that for infatuation. She's probably thinking of how to ditch you and get back with the one who got away. I love that. Idiots. Call me coon. Funny. Pattaya is, I've heard, is that the place where they have, they call them bar girls or something like that? I was watching a video about that. It was very interesting. My life is much more peaceful now she's gone. No worries, less stress, more freedom, less wasted money, no drama. It's just better. Nick Mignow. I hope I said that right. You know what? When you're working on yourself, your life is happy. Every one of us has woken up to something in life that caused us to get here. And I would say the majority is a relationship or a non-relationship, a rejection in your teens or what have you. But that's the reality. We're here because of a relationship. What if we didn't go through what we would? We would still be spinning our wheels, trying to be even nicer. Instead of a dozen roses, 2 dozen roses. We'd be playing the game thinking, what are we doing? We'd be reading all the self-help books of how to be a gentleman. And we know that doesn't work. We know that the nicer you are, the less you get. We know that. I'm sorry, ladies, that is the absolute truth. I have been nice in the past. It doesn't pan out. But when I'm stoic and I don't do anything and don't return their calls, guess who's calling me? Every single one of them. Tom Likas was right. Aguia Espiritual is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Spike is in the house as well. David Castro, do you agree on women in the workplace or work for? I'm fine with them working. Sure. I work with them. Do I like working with them? Yeah. There's been a couple that have been all right. But for the most part, there's a lot of, I was the only guy on this team. In fact, my manager was a guy, and we had 7 women. There was constant drama and chaos. My boss would call me and say, I'm sorry, I can't take this call. I'm dealing with 3 of the gals. They're all hating on each other. So there is an issue, but no, they can work. Yeah. Let them pay their own bills. See you later, brother. Rad, it was nice seeing you too, sound engineer. Always great to have you in your comments. Your program, along with many other red pill and black pill shows, really have helped me out in regards to female nature. Good for you, man. This is why we're here. And I've told everyone, if you ever have a question or need some sort of help and you just need someone to talk to, send me an email, rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. There's been many on this forum that have sent me texts emails. I've actually talked to several on the phone, and I'm willing to do that. Whatever I can do to help someone. That's what I'm here, because people help me. 7 a.m. in the Philippines, BPDX moved on quickly after monkey branching with whom she thought was the bigger, better deal. Don't believe what they tell you about women in our country. Anonymous Imus. Good to have you. I've heard everyone says go to Philippines, but I would agree with you. Female nature is female nature, guys. Simple as that. The female brain is universal. The male brain is universal. We just try to understand it. Do I believe that there is a 1% to 2% that there are good women out there, but they're hard to find. If you can find them, let me know. She moves on quick because she's seeking a better retirement package. I heard there's a book some gal wrote that talked about marriage and the divorce and rinse and repeat for retirement. Can you believe that? There are no religious women, nor there are atheists. They act on their primal instincts when Chad and Tyrone show up. However, the top atheists and religious writers and philosophers are men. Isn't that interesting, Laboucher? Where are you from, by the way? Very well said. I would agree with that. Men, since the dawn of time, question their reality. However, women always open their legs to the barbarian and think about how to manipulate men and exploit the fruits of men's labor. Paul talks about it in Corinthians. I'm sure Muhammad talks about it. I'm sure Krishna talks about it. We have to link up. Send me an email. We'll figure out someday. Absolutely. I hear the food in Pattaya is, oh man. You know why I want to go to Thailand? The beaches and the food. I am a huge Thai food lover. Curries. What else? The noodles, the pads, you name it. So good. I love the heat and the peanut sauce. Oh, gotta go. Another brother executed in the favelas. Guys, don't be stupid. I saw that video. Swedish feminists want to limit Thai immigration because they don't want foreign competition. Isn't that interesting? But yet they don't want to be committed to men that have their own culture. Right, McTown Cowboy? I live 300 kilometers away from Spain, and guys, Spanish girls are amazing. They are more traditional and feminine, says Satch AB. And hablan con la zeta. I'd love to go to Spain and Portugal as well. Those are the only countries in Europe I'd like to. I'd probably go to England. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe I would do a French tour just for French bread and French toast. French wine. We can hang out, Satch. We men too quickly forget how fast the peace is gone when she arrives. The old fading bias effect. It's real, guys. Tom Likas was right. Did he die? No, he's not dead. I just think he's cashing in his dough. And he said what he said. He has saved a lot of guys, I'll tell you that. Women weren't created to work as such. Women were created to nurture and extend posterity. Simple as that. That's programming. Our programming is to provide and protect. When you go against your programming, you don't feel, you know something's wrong. Now, women don't have to work as much in the yard and make food over a fire and wash clothes by hand with a washboard. We have machines that do that. So they can actually work in an office. But if they put their family first and maybe do part-time work or do something different, then that's what, to me, is very highly attractive. A feminine woman that knows her place alongside her man. Why is that so wrong? That is how our civilization has gotten to 2021 by women staying home for the majority of it. It being wives. But now in the last 40, 50 years, daycare is now the mother. No wonder there's so much of a shit show. Timmy Kramer, golf in Sedona tomorrow is a bonus to myself for a clean bill of health. There you go, brother. 56 going on 30. Matt Downer is out. See you later, brother. I haven't seen Lycus lately. Oh, he's the best. He's the best. Wargoat, I'm so glad my mother found love after I left the house instead of thinking she's entitled to some rich Chad. Entitlement is real, guys. Remember, when you are in a competitive sport, there's only one winner and one loser. And the winners get the trophies, not the losers. But oh, how that's changed. Now the losers get trophies just for participating. That's called entitlement. That is entitlement. Women don't understand what they emotionally respond to. They say one thing while doing the opposite. It's always been said, never believe what a woman says and less than half of what they do. Actions speak louder than words. I hope the male suicide rate goes down due to RAD. I hope so too. Almost all my bosses were females. All of them gave me a headache, a world of confusion, constantly changing their mind. That's just their brain. Female brain, guys, versus the male brain. There is a difference. Read about it. I'm not making it up. We are logically based. Women are emotionally based. It's proven. That's why we suffer more when a breakup happens. But in the end, we're able to move on and be stronger. So thank your logical brain. Thank the fact that you went through a breakup and you're here. I'm going to become a barbarian and conquer the West. Wait till the U.S. breaks up into different countries. I bet that's going to happen next 10, 15 years. Thank you for your videos. They focus on the real questions that we have during and after the relationship. Cable Summers, good to have you. Let me know where you're from. A girl in PA wanted to get a room. I lied and told her I don't have money. She drove to New Jersey and booked a room. Once I arrived, she told me she's hungry. I gave her an old Pop-Tart. Was it a berry or a chocolate one? You see, FJT is always prepared with Pop-Tarts, guys. Or you're hungry. Here's some popcorn. Let's pop in the microwave. All women nowadays have a I'm a princess mentality, no matter how overweight or unattractive they are. We call that the Princess Destiny Syndrome, and it is alive and well in all shapes, sizes, and ages. Females need men, but don't want them. Men want females, but don't need them. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. Very well said, Mr. Markel. HTO kid, South Africa is trying to legalize women having 2 husbands. Now tell me that's going to add to the shit show. Who even came up with that idea? I bet that was wow, nuts. I'm from Morocco, but I'm not a Muslim. I am 28 years old. I broke up with my ex in 2020 because she was contacting her ex-boyfriend. Guys, they're contacting their ex-husbands, their boyfriends from 10 years ago. Good to have you in Morocco, Casablanca. The Moroccan food I've had is wonderful. I agree with women working 100% in the kitchen. I told this one gal I went on a date with 2 years ago, I said, you can have any job you want as long as it's behind the sink making me a sandwich. Tom Likas was the first one who red pilled me. He was my Morpheus. Oh, he's helped a lot of dudes. He's helped a lot of dudes. Will FJT ever be willing to roll the dice? Not on a sugar baby. If it wasn't for Tom Likas, none of you guys would know who I am. Well said. Somebody probably filled her head about that's the game, and she dumbly thought of you as a piece. Inoa Ayaich. Where are you from? Good to have you. Cable Summers, L.A. What part of L.A.? God, where did I go? Spent a lot of time in Glendale. Is it Glendale? What's the place by Glendale? It's off the top of my tongue. It's sketchy. I think it starts with M. Monterey Park. Had to go to a bunch of hospitals in Monterey Park. Man, that place is ghetto. But there's some cool parts of LA. Tell us how the women are in LA. I wonder how many gentlemen in here are either currently married or will entertain the idea in the future. I think it's out of the picture for me, even at 23, not worth it. It's like, well, you got to know what you're getting into, HTO kid. You've got to understand the risks and the rewards. And I believe the risks outweigh the rewards, especially as the marriage proceeds. There's nothing you can do. Throw the whole idea that there's a Disney story. That's gone, guys. That is not real. The Disney story is a fictional story, which we will all believe, but it was fiction. As time goes on, relationships crumble. It's as simple as that. Contempt comes in, relationship breaks up. Marriage is no different. In fact, I think marriage breaks up quicker than long-term relationships. Virgo, women think they're the main character in life. We call that solipsism. Solipsism is their religion. But what's been up with your day, Rad? How's everything? Did a nice bike ride up the hill. Little windy, overcast. I had the wind blowing in my face, which was giving me more resistance and more muscle building fiber. But I made it down in one piece, and I had a wonderful time. My Nawalt hunting days are over. For the fellas that want to go that route, I wish them best of luck. I just don't know where the Nawalts are, FJT. One marriage is enough for any self-aware red pill man. Any guy that goes through the divorce court and gets remarried, they didn't get the memo, as they say in office space. And wishing them luck is not a good thing to wish them on the second or third marriage. No. I recommend all Tom Likas fans listen to the conversation between him and Kay Heimowitz from 2000. I'll have to check. I think I listened to that. San Fernando Valley, says Cable. I think that's the prom capital of the world, right? Rad, if I remember correctly, I gave her an expired brown sugar Pop-Tart. Even better. Foreshadowing the expiration of her in the future. Good for you. If you guys want to test how emotionally supportive your girl is, text her and say these words: baby, I lost my job. Do you know how many guys I know that got broken up if they got sick, hurt, or lost their job? Lots. My buddy who's married just got the call from his ex. He's tempted because she has no kids and he's currently married to a single mom. She brought a daughter to the relationship. Mr. Sammy in the house. Be very, very careful, as I would tell him. Marriage is an unlit BOMB waiting to explode. It's not when, or it's not if, it's when. It'll eventually explode. Right, Timmy? Tomorrow night, I'm going to grab coffee with a girl who randomly texts me to catch up. After 7 years of no contact, her job involves ending SDA. Should be interesting. Ooh, I'd be very careful on that one. Getting with a therapist or a social worker. Let us know how it goes, Red Mine. I'd love to hear about it. Tom is one of the first in our sphere to speak the way he speaks without apology. He would be too much for snowflakes to handle today. Yeah, and he'd be canceled. He'd be canceled as well. Freeman Red Pill. It's not that they move on fast, but they move on while they still in a relationship. Blue pill guys get confused here or know nothing about female nature, only to repeat it again and again and again. Freeman red pill, where are you at? The hot girls ask for perfection and lots of money. Chubby girls think they are pretty to the point of insanity. Even the heavy girls are princesses. Even the heavy girls. Cable Summers in San Fernando with a lot of competition. Brad, what type of crypto are a good investment for long term? Look at the movers. Look at the movers. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero. Look at the movers. I would maybe put 10, 15% in kind of a no-name one that pops up. Maybe that's got some good, been on a good roll. But I would go with what's known. That's where the majority of, you might hit a home run with a no-name. Who's going to come out with the red pill crypto? RPC. Let's start it. Who can build it? The reformers would have called it solasympism. It's Mr. Sammy. Very well said. Teddy Boy Smith too. I have a female friend one day. She acts like she loves me. Next day barely speaks. Is this normal? Do they do it on purpose? That's just normal. It's called the female brain. Something emotionally probably stopped her from talking to you. One day my sisters are like that. So great call one day and the next day won't even return my call or even reply back to me. Female nature. Don't sweat it. Why is Florida capital of swingers and would you participate? Probably not. Probably because there's a lot of sun. There's a lot of flesh because the sun makes people wear very little clothing. And the culture, the Miami culture of promiscuity is alive and well. What are your thoughts on NoFap TP tactics? If it works for you, great. I think there's good benefits of NoFap. So study and see what works for you. NoFap is basically fasting from sexual tendency or desire, right? So if you fast, anytime you fast from technology, from food, from alcohol, from NoFap, it does the body good. Clears your brain up. Who's familiar with Mark Rudolph? I've heard of him. I don't know much about him. NoFap is a placebo thing, says LaBoucher. I'm going for a learning experience. There are more red flags than a Chinese parade, as they say. Yeah, just go study female nature. I know Mark Rudolph. He was big 10 years ago. Did he talk a lot about conspiracy as well? I think he did. Does he have glasses and kind of long hair? Western females think they're entitled to a man's resources, while an Eastern female feels they should prove to the man that they deserve his resources. However, all female nature is universal. Well said, Mr. Brooklyn. Mark Rudolph. I think I remember seeing some stuff by him. Everyone said, I got to check him out. Timmy Kramer, I like money and savings, no debts and steaks in the freezer. The simple life is the best life. Guys, I'm going to give you a very wonderful secret rad tip. Less is more. Less is more. Think about it. Unless it comes to money. But less things, less distractions, less stoplights is more. I'm not saying go chase to be a billionaire, but if you so choose, great. But having less debt is more, right, Jimmy or Timmy? Having more steaks in the freezer is better than not, but you get my drift. In the long run, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Infidelity in marriage opened my eyes to the cold hard truth about female nature. Female nature is what it is. In fact, my buddy's like, how could she move on fast? 2 words. Female brain, female nature. That's what they do. They're emotionally based. What could I do to stop that? Nothing. You can't stop it, guys. And this is why we're here talking about it. You can't stop it. You can't change it. You can't fix it. You accept it and you navigate life by understanding it. It's as simple as that. Guys have been on this forum responding to videos of all different creators, realizing that their life is improving, understanding the dynamics of male and female relationships. They're understanding the risks and rewards of marriage. They're understanding where they should put their investment. Right? Well said, Anthony. Under the clitoral hood, how to crank our engines without booze, cash, or jumper cables. I think those engines are going electric now. The man with no name in the house, these 304s ain't loyal. A lot of them aren't. Can't turn a 304 into a housewife. How do these prom stars get married? I don't understand that. How can they play the role of a wife? Maybe they can. Mr. Sammy, if it's consistent, then she might be a borderline or bipolar. Since it's just a friend, I wouldn't worry about. Just deal with it. But I wouldn't recommend wifing anyone like that. I have a couple more stories of my own personal life. After swallowing the red pill, whenever I see an attractive girl at work or in the streets seeking attention, my eyes, through the red pill lenses, see a lot of attitude, manipulation, and drama. Remember, the woman is beautiful. The women can charm you. The women can really make you see things differently. And that is the reality of life. So you got to go out equipped. If you see a beautiful woman, acknowledge it. But remember what happens at night. Remember when that makeup and those extensions and those eyelashes, you know? And no matter how charming they are. Women know men better than men know women. Let's put it there. My ex was screwing me, her baby daddy, and some random one-night stand. Now she's weighing her options. Living off unemployment, scamming, bought a new house and a dog, thinks she's the shizzle. It's a mind F for sure. Well, good for her. Good for you for understanding that. Now, life is all about upwards. Right? This stuff is getting way out of hand, I'm telling you. It's not going to be quitting anytime. People say, do you think, Brad, traditional relationships will come back? Not anytime soon. Nope. In fact, you're going to see more breakups, more promiscuity, more divorce, more snowflakes, more men getting upset. You know, and here we are. We have the playbook to a better life. We can go out and invest in ourselves, chase our excellence, be the best version, work on ourselves, get in shape, mentally and physically, financially. And we can have a wonderful life. Guys, if you're alone, go to a restaurant. If you're over 21 in the US, maybe Canada, have yourself a nice dinner bite. Treat yourself to something. Treat yourself. I guarantee that's going to do you amazing things. And just talk to people around you. Or watch a game. Work on yourself, little by little. Don't quit. Persevere. Getting rid of social media, TV, and living minimal where I can pack my car and move anywhere is the best thing I've ever done. Less is more. Less is more equals freedom. Freedom. Where did the term 304 come from? I think Greg Adams, Big Tail Cowboy. Put on your red pill goggles. You'll see everything you've missed throughout your life. And you'll start to believe and see everything that you now gave you an aha moment a long time ago. You just weren't sure what to think of it. And it just makes it all clear, doesn't it, Kami-kun? The Ben Zobra story is absolutely mind-blowing. I'll have to check it out. Is that yeah, okay, I think I remember what you're talking about. Why females snag and trick men is because they want this support. If the courts would say, if you're an unwed mother, no welfare, no child support, guess how many females? It's out of control, Jaron. Would have babies out of wedlock? 0. If unwed mothers would not get any support, they would not have babies out of wedlock. I would agree with that. It's already been set. It's been set for 40, 50 years. They are supported by the state. So they can go out and have multiple kids and get more support. It's really sad, the reality of a lot of people in our society in our cultures that do this. It's crazy. I feel bad for guys that have sons growing up in this wacky, feminized world. Got 2 of them, but their dad is at least steering them when they get off course back in the line of the wind. Slowly but surely, they're understanding reality. But they're no different than most men that run back to the plantation. 304 is, yep, HOE. Mark Rudolph would say these things on live TV. The women's, oh, I know. Did he die? Didn't he go on? Was he an attorney or something like that? Yeah. I saw a bunch of I think he was on CNN and Fox and all that stuff. My buddy is in the Army, had a kid with his wife, got back from a deployment. She divorces him. She wanted the cash and prizes. He spends his night at a bar now. I feel for him. H2O kid, I feel bad for him too. Military infidelity is out of control. Our therapist during our marriage counseling was a military therapist. She said it was out of control. Call me coon, laying it down again. When I was with my ex, whenever I receive a message from her at work, I become stressful and angry. But the couple of hours I must spend at night consoling her while I sacrifice my time and my sleep. Well, I think we can all relate to that, Laboucher. I still don't get it why women can't handle rejection or ghosting. It's called the lack of attention. Attention is their currency. Remove your attention, they seek it. Give your attention to them, they reject you. It's really that simple. Push and pull. I just booked a trip to a national park by myself. Solitude is good sometimes. We are social animals. Welcome to Costco. I love you. I love that. Attaboy, getting out. Seeing the world. Seeing the world. Doing something for yourself, guys. That's your best investment. And I hate to say that. I hate to say that investing in a relationship is not smart. I really do. I wish things were different. But the reality, I'm a realist. You got to be real. You got to look at things and say, hey, I'm not going to get a return on investment nearly than what I put in. Some Redmine, who said it? Someone's putting 15 grand down on a house and the other, and his lady's putting 1,500. What does that tell you? 304 came from putting that number in your calculator. We used to do that back in the 6th grade. World Series MVP, Ben, his wife cheated on him with the pastor. Oh, yes. Does that surprise you? That doesn't surprise me. A man has power and status, right? Nuts. Don't quit, persevere. Vacations by yourself are amazing. Explore and relax. I've been all over the countries, South Central America by myself. And there's no better opportunity to wake up when you want, to leave when you want, to eat what you want without having to ask. Sweetie, where do you want to eat today? What do you want to do? I just want to go to the pool and read a book. I don't want to go out in the streets and hike to waterfalls. I don't want to see the amazing culture that this country. I just want to sit by the pool. No, thank you, is what I say. She can do that by herself on her own vacation. But Rad's on his own. Timmy Kramer takes his own private vacation. Took a private jet to LA. After my wealthy buddy knocked up a Scottsdale bimbo, he needed to talk with life coach, guessing a couple million down the drain in total, and the kid is now 14. At least you got a nice lift on a private jet, Timmy. Push and pull, bait and switch. If you like a girl, here's again free dating advice. Again, short term only. Remove your attention. Only approach when you get the signals. And you know you can approach. And then give no attention and move on. Look what FJT does. He gives them no attention and they come going crazy after him. Right? The less attention you give, the more they seek. It's 1:45 a.m. in London, says Eric's. Was listening to some wonderful English music today. Ian Brown of the Stone Roses, one of my favorites. What time is it? It is 5:47 p.m. They say that when a man marries, he becomes more focused and more determined to be successful, and they give the example of top 10 million billionaires. I would agree with that, sure. But that eventual success leads to what? Contempt. Look how successful the billionaire Dr. Dre became. And look what happened years later. I think it helps in the beginning, that does not help in the end. Because she's going to be stand by his side because she's getting a piece of the pie. Different question. Can you buy a car or a house if you have bad credit or no credit, but you have lots of money cash? Nope. Well, you can, but you get crappy interest rates. Even if you let's say you want to buy a $300,000 house, you have $500,000 in the bank, but you want to finance it because you want a low rate, they won't even look at that. So, yeah, you just get a bad rate. It won't be that bad. It's not going to, I mean, what rates are 3% right now, or a little under? Probably your rate will be 5%. Still good. All you can do is move on to find someone else, just like when a job won't give you what you need, says some hairy Italian guy. I would agree with you. And by the way, you can get over your ex. You got to write your list down. You got to understand the fantasy is not the reality. If they want you back, you say no. 2 words, 1 syllable, no. Right? You do not bathe in dirty bathwater. You cannot get clean, ever, 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 ever. That same buddy got a vasectomy 6 months later. I could tell you crazy stories from hanging with a zillionaire. I bet you could, brother. Love to hear them. I hate to harp on this topic, but Zobrist had to take off from baseball in 19 and miss the season. Guys, it doesn't matter who you are, man. You can be a rich mofo. You could be an amazing athlete, actor, hip-hop producer. We're still men. We still get stopped in our tracks. We still are subject to what? Female nature. And the athletes and the actors and musicians and the celebrities, they're weak. Credit lenders are DBs. Even if you have perfect credit, they can screw you. Went to Hawaii, rented a car, drove the island, slept on beaches, and watched the sun. Good for you, brother. It's a long flight for you from the East Coast. I figured you'd go to Bermuda. I'm 31 and can afford to buy a single wide in cash, or I could take a loan for a stick-built house. What's the best option? Well, you're going to have better appreciation in the house. Single wides will just, if you can pay it for cash and don't care about appreciation, that might be a way to go. No mortgage, no rent. I think you probably have to pay a rent fee. But if that was me, I would go to the house. You can sell them quicker, and you can make money. That's true, Rad. When they sense that I don't care about them, all they do is try to get your attention. Atención. You don't need these heartless women, bros, says some hairy Italian guy. Did you hear Bill Cosby was released? Yes, I did. Seems to be the hot topic today. Watch the news and see what's going to happen from the other side. Sean M., mortgage rates are low. Yes, I would agree. I think you're going to have a better return on investment buying a house, but the prices are very expensive right now. They're out of control. What do you call an unmarried man? Incomplete. What do you call a married man? Finished. Ain't that the truth? Big Town Cowboy from the Windy City. Hawaii is great. I've been there about 5 times. I honeymooned in Hawaii, but I prefer Mexico now because it's closer, cheaper, and the beaches are just as good. LaBoucher, when you said we're still men, Rad, you gave me some Fight Club vibes. Good for that. Tyler Durden. I saw 2 bears walking down the street today. That bear is repeating. I heard Henry Cavill had a breakup. Even Superman couldn't make it work. Can you believe that? And I like that Superman film he was in. Female nature and male nature Female brain and the male brain, guys. That's why we're here. Men get stuck in their path from a logical perspective, and that is why we don't understand when women move on so quick. Because our logical brain can't grasp it because we made such an investment. But when we understand that it was female nature, it wasn't us. We were just part of that chain. No matter what you did, I'm sure men gave great things to their women that got monkey wrenched. I'm not going to argue it. We might have also done some stupid things. We might have also shown them lack of attention and appreciation, but we probably got the same in return. So understanding that, you don't have to do that again. And we're giving guys a bridge that says you don't have to go through heartbreak again by understanding this. And it takes a long time to sink that in. It took me a long time. Henry Cavill is very careful to avoid women saying he abused them. Lord Spawn is in the house. Why do they move on so fast? Because they aren't capable of actually loving us. Their love is very different, guys. Their love is very different than a man's love. Biologically incapable. They love different. We don't hate it. We understand it. They don't love like men love them. Henry Cavill broke up with her because of Me Too. He didn't want to catch an accusation. I'd be really careful if you're a celebrity and athlete at this point. You know, my ex told me she's 10 steps ahead of me. Wouldn't doubt it. Not a surprise. When you understand that it doesn't make sense, it all makes sense. That was a huge light bulb moment for me during my divorce. When you understand that it doesn't make sense, it all makes sense. Very well said. I just feel like we're warring tribes anymore. Men are really getting fed up with the games and the betrayal. They are starting something big and they have no idea how it will end for them. Don't quit, persevere, 10 steps ahead, and what? They're always 10 steps ahead. That's why you got to be mysterious and hold frame. Use soap. They don't all move fast. It's just you can't read her mind. She decided to leave you years before, sometimes even when you first met. I believe my wife is planning our divorce 10 years into the marriage. Red pill is getting big in other countries too. Look at Macho Toxico's channel with Brazil, with Portuguese-speaking men. He's getting big. Men love harder, says Sam T is in the house. Good to see you. Tell me where you're from, Sam. Wow, so Superman almost got me too'd. You never know. It could happen. What happened to that one guy that was in Pineapple Express in 120 hours or whatever? James somebody. Just married, make it sound like they're already disappointed. Men die for women. Yes, we do. We would give anything for a wonderful, faithful woman that stands by her man. It's not a hard formula. Women respect, honor, love, give appreciation and attention. They get everything in return. Literally, if a woman did that, let's just say it's $1. Let's say that value is $1. She would get $10 in return for every dollar she gave to the man. Based on that love, attention, appreciation, support, respect, co-piloting. 10 lady steps. When I started talking to my ex again, one of the first things she asked is what I did, how much money I made. Is that a surprise? MGTOW Cowboy, good to have you. Like Radstream, so it grows faster. Peace out to you. Mine was too unstable to plan. I lucked out. What's funny is as soon as you have another woman and don't need them, they want you back. That is called, it's classic. There's a subconscious energy that goes. Once you stop wanting them, they want you. James Franco, that's right. Yeah, I just saw he has to pay like $2.5 million out to some gal. Editoro Casali, my ex had my replacement lined up months before she dumped. I dodged a bullet. You're not alone, my brother. Good to have you. Not sure what happened. I know he got me too. Yes, he did. And a lot of people turned on him, I guess. Never tie the knot around your neck. That would be a great t-shirt. Red Mind Man comes out with some funny sayings. Work tomorrow. Keep it good content. Thank you for being here, brother. Always great to have you. I hear womanism is really bad in parts of Brazil. Guys, it's bad anywhere. When I was in Colombia and Cartagena, I saw Instagram models with their simpy boyfriends taking pictures of them. It's the same in any culture. If there is a smartphone and an internet, they're no different than here. The female brain is universal. You can't hide. You can't hide. I would like to go to southern Brazil, FJT. I would not go to Rio. I'd go low, like it's not Sao Paulo, it's somewhere else. So honestly, just go out with a random chick, put pics on your social, don't take your ex back. Never take an ex back, people. Women doesn't like the D, them like money, says my wallet, my choice. You're onto something there. You're onto something. Wives hire hitmen on their husband, but a husband will die for his wife. Don't quit, persevere. A man will die for his wife. That pic of yours is from Godfather, right? That fat guy stabbed in the hand and garroted. Yep. Luca Brasi. I would have said that. Never occurred to me. No man should get an LTR before the age of 30. No man should get married before 35. I would say no man should get married unless he knows the risks and the rewards. And there's proper vetting. Every man should stop and consider every broken, divorced man in their lives. I'm guessing it's way more than 70%. Yes. Any man that's considering marriage might want to go to the courthouse and watch a temporary order hearing. That is the first hearing when a woman or a man files for divorce and the judge begins the separation of assets and children. You will see things you never thought. Jordan in the house, want to know something crazy? A random stranger is more of a friend of my ex than I am to her? Because ex always hold a grudge against you. Yes, they do. And they're wonderful archaeologists as well, because they love to dig up the past. 2 to 3 throws max. We agree with you, my brother. Before you catch feelings. But it doesn't get better. Let's be real. You think it's going to get better on the 5th time? Come on. The first time is always the best. It's like a battery. Get out before you catch feelings. You ever run into white knight guys when you go out with a woman, like guy friends of theirs that won't go away? Sure, they're everywhere. There's more white knights now than there's ever been. See, guys don't want to accept the reality. They don't want to accept the program, even though deep down they've subconsciously probably get the idea. They believe that there's a Disney story that's going to be real for them. Someday they're going to wake up. The problem with waiting so long to make a move and find a somewhat stable female is that nobody wants used goods. Told my buddy that took his fourth time cheating wife back. She is not salvageable. She is she is the car that cannot be sold for parts anymore. And then the car goes to the dump or the junkyard to be squashed and melted down. Taking your ex back is like trying to push a poo back in your butt. A very good analogy. I would not do it. Isaac Newton died a virgin. That means I have one up on history's greatest scientific genius because I'm not dead. Jerron Markel. There's lots of things to be grateful for in life. I'm grateful that I learned about this and I went through my divorce at my age. Some guys are not learning this till they're 70. Some guys are learning this early, but we're learning it. My wallet, my choice. Unfortunately, young boys don't listen to us. No, they don't. How does one properly vet a woman when she can keep up the act for a decade only to snap one day? Very well. Very good question. Good question. Yeah, I don't think you ever know. Maybe, but they're wonderful actresses. Oscar-winning actresses, every single one of them. True rad, I talked with a woman in the Philippines recently. She told me that she would only date American white men for their money. Be careful going to other countries. Yes, they could be very dangerous, FJT. You got to know what you're doing. If you bring a foreign woman to the U.S., how long until she figures out she's in a lopsided dating market that favors women? She probably knows, Sean, before she even gets on the shores. Most married women settle simply for a provider. The guy she really wanted pumped and dumped her. I would agree with that statement. Like if you saw him, you would think, how did he land that? There's some ugly dudes with very beautiful women, but then some women have low self-esteem and date ugly guys. God, my sister, she dated some ugly dudes, man. I want to purge the relationship thirst. The peace leaf thirst will never go away. Welcome to Costco. I love it. The thirst for the peace leaf is always, it's with me too. And if it goes away, something's wrong. We're biologically wired to lay horizontal with women. There's nothing wrong. It's how you navigate life knowing that. That's it. Chad loves squashing her and melting her down. Red Mind Man. Absolutely. Men first. In the house. Monkey branching is out of control. Women don't even change the bed sheets before getting their backs blown out. Well said. I don't disagree with that. Nothing wrong with being a virgin, bro. Great sex is better than lots of bad sex. We are men first and foremost, on purpose. It's better to have great sex with someone you care about. I practice languages with foreign women every day. They're already aware of America's divorce laws. They have a cell phone and heavily influenced by American culture. All they have to do is go to Google Translate. That's it. Not hard. Divorce is in every country, city, pueblo, village. Can't hide. I'm not a virgin, man. I was making her a joke. I hear you. You don't look like one. I love you. I also want to purge the relationship there. I really do crave real attention, but is there such a real thing? There is, in very rare circumstances. Women be chasing the same 5 guys, says Lord Spawn. Ed Goo is in the house. I was just laughing because I realized I gave in so easily when she wanted me. I was such a gump and blinded that I just can't believe it. But you're not alone. We're all there. You'd be surprised how many guys tolerate her male friends, even if they're in a serious relationship. It wasn't like that before the smartphone. Correct. Correcto mundo. Getting their blacks blown out rad. I heard that slip. You know, there's all sorts of pills out there. And I would consider we are just understanding female nature. And we're navigating a life to have a better life. It's really that simple. Understanding their brain and understanding how our brain works can set us up for a wonderful life. Or it can destroy us. You choose your own adventure. You can't make a housewife. I learned that because my ex is a Sloot and a 304. Keep in mind, when you break up, the woman has other guys on standby. No more wiser words were said, Jordan. Good for you. The best SCX I had was a few weeks before she left. I think she was hate pounding me. Red Mind Man, it happened to me, brother. 2 months after the divorce filing, we laid down one last time. And it was a hate. It was like an anger, you name it. But it was great for me. I don't know, man. I'm starting to think there's not relationships about people using one another as disposable. I think relationships are disposable in today's world. Really do. You got to be careful. You got to remove the programming that Disney has put into your head. Okay? Lord Spawn, nature knew that women would be terrible people, so it literally made us stupid. When aroused, we'd F these awful harpies. That's why post-nut clarity exists and why we ask ourselves after why. I don't believe I believe that female nature is just female nature. And we could label it as terrible. We could label it as they're horrible people. But hey, you know what? That's just it. She's not yours. It's just your turn. You got to accept it. We all have to accept it. Once we accept it, we can have a great life. If we don't accept it, we're going to keep spinning our wheels, rinse and repeating, hoping the next Nawal is going to be our princess. Most women get the ultimate reality check at around the age of 35. I would agree with that statement. But at the end, I will let her have the captain, save a hoe, because now I know the reality. Most of these women that are riding the CC, that didn't settle down, that just disrespected their man, end up like Jenny in Forrest Gump. And if Forrest Gump will save them. I just want someone who will kiss me, ask me my day was, and when I come home from work. I can cook her dinner and we watch a movie. It doesn't exist. Total fantasy. Sure, it's a fantasy. You don't need her to do that. You got to put all of that internal validation in you. And if she pops up and cooks you dinner, or you cook her dinner and you have a wonderful night, great. But don't expect that to be forever. That is the fallacy and a fantasy that people believe, that it's going to continue and continue and get better and better. Very rare circumstances doesn't get better. We're just here talking reality. It's when they have to buy their own drinks at the bar, Lord Spawn says. You got it. Jimmy Kramer, hot, hate sex, they call it. Yes, it is. The magazine Cosmo and Sex and the City really got the ball rolling. Girls' night out. Eat, pray, love, yo. Eat, pray, love. Red Mind Man, there's no such thing as your girlfriend. Only our girlfriend. I need a shower. Only our girlfriend. Change that your to our and your life will be better. Enter Dulon from Hawaii. Too much freedom, but it was never like that in the beginning of time. Bible days. Look at Eve and Adam. That is the beginning of female nature and male nature. Enjoy your turn while it lasts and keep your shoe hands strong. Mr. Sammy, if you're looking for a unicorn, normally you got to lock them down during high school. Unicorns not running in the wild after the 20s. And always remember, a unicorn has a horn right on their forehead that can pierce you lickety-split. I think it's even later than 35. There are 40-year-old roasties that are still not self-aware enough to know they're on the other side of the wall. A lot of women don't know that, or they won't accept it. That's why the rise of fillers and Botox and lip injection and butt implants is everywhere. Also, my daughter will love me till I die anyway, but you gay guys know it's hard to accept in the beginning, but we will prevail in the end. Well said, Ed. Eat, pray, love. You go, girl. AI Transform, brother in the house. Good to see you. So that's the reality, guys. Our brains are different. Women's brains are different too. We accept it. We don't hate it. We don't label them as monsters. It's just they are running their programming, and we have the cheat codes to a better life. Why would you go get back married when your first one divorced you with 3 kids? And you can have your shit away. Do you think it's going to be different? Most likely that woman's divorced too. Knowing that you got monkey branch the first time in an LTR, does that mean all women will do it? No. But there's a lot doing it now. Can you find a great woman? Potentially. I don't know where they exist. I have met decent women. I do believe that there is 1% to 2% of women out there that could, but you're still in the end going to deal with a female brain versus a male brain. Okay? So if, let's say you find it, how do you maintain it? That is the question. She'd have to be raised by a great mother and father. She'd have to have no red flags. She'd have to be a co-pilot. Hopefully with no tattoos, no whacked out piercings, no feminist ideas, no liberal tendencies. You know, maybe hopefully a virgin. Right? What's the reality of that? Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, isn't on social media, isn't addicted to her phone. Right? We've talked about red flags. Great sex at the end of the relationship because she's thinking of the guys she's about to monkey ranch too. Well said, Cheaper Groceries. I would agree with that too. There are no wives in Western culture, just concubines. That might not be that's yeah. There's a lot of promiscuity even in marriage. They need to come out with the robots. You think someone will program the robots to have female nature? It's a myth that women in other countries are wife material. They're after green cards and money. Guys, if a beautiful woman in a different country is all over you and love bombing you, come on. Do they really like you for you? They like you for what you represent and what you have. They might be 40 and still delusional, think they're all that, but the guys orbiting them are short, fat, balding, ugly, and poor. Liking their post and sending them emojis and good morning sunshines. Timmy Kramer is the ultimate golfer. No, divorce is not in every country. There's no divorce in the Philippines. That's why they thought marriage is better here. It's not. So what happens? You can't get divorced, Anonymous Ismus or Imus? What happens if the woman, there's no divorce? I have ups and downs. I'm working on it. Please understand it hurts like you don't know. I'm human. Absolutely, brother. That's why we're here. We're helping each other. I understand. I've been there. Oh, my heart was torn out. I know exactly what it's like. That's why we write our list down, pros and cons. That's why we understand that fantasy is not the reality. We build up a fantastical version of this woman in our head. That's not real. She is fake. She is not real. She is not who she became. And it hurts. You accept your hurt. Write your pros and cons list down. You read it 100 times a day. I guarantee. A guy is as stubborn as me. That worked. Money is the aphrodisiac for them. Men should just lie about their net worth to play women. I hear a lot of guys do that on these sugar daddy sites. 40-year-old women are old, biatch, entitled, fat, and forgotten. There's a lot of women like that. They put their career first, or they decided that there was a bigger, better option that didn't turn out to be a bigger, better option. Foreplay equals my wallet. Red mind man. I have been in that situation. When I was drunk at a bar, I told some girl I had a business making doorstops. Didn't get laid though. Well, if you said you had a technology company that was going to revolutionize banking, I bet she would have. Money is beer goggles for women. There's still no divorce here, only marriage annulment, yet many couples aren't happy with their marriage. Interesting. What happens if a woman cheats on their man in the Philippines? I love when you guys say, my girl isn't like that. In my head, I say to myself, she isn't like that today. She could be like that 5 years from now, and she magically changes her mind. Always put, it's a good thing that FJT said that. Always put right now at the end of anything she says. Oh my gosh, you are amazing right now. I'm in love with you right now. I can't wait to see you right now. That is how you navigate. We have to accept it. That is the way women nature is, but it is to test our strength. Yeah, you can be weak and go back to the plantation, and it's going to happen all over again. Or you can be strong and work on yourself. It's really that simple. I've been bragging far and wide about how broke I am post-divorce. Keeps the roaches, slugs, and leeches away. Perfect. Perfect. Anyone else switch from office to work a trade blue-collar job just to avoid working with women? I think a lot of guys do that. A lot of guys do that. I love when girls say, I usually don't do this on the first date. I never believe what they say. I prove that all the time. I do computer stuff, total sausage fest. There's probably a lot of programmers are guys. There's not a lot of women programmers. But here's the reality. What if FJT just said something? I was hammering on that. Yeah, the whole thing that they say to you in the moment, always put a right now or now you do. Today you do. That's easier to swallow. Oh, you're in love with me. Right now you are. Perfect. Tomorrow is probably a different story. Same as every country, the woman cheats, the man takes her back, then she cheats again. Yep. Same here. Careful lying about your net worth. Using that to get laid is on the fast track to being viewed as a form of rape in the courts. Would agree with that statement. That being said, a woman uses makeup to get laid when she looks like a corpse without. Yeah, I wonder how come one guy has never brought the deception. She deceived me by her looks. I bet someone's going to do that. I bet some guy is going to do that. It's going to make national press. Anyone ever had a woman who was into crazy acts? I had someone who wanted a golden shower. It was like, geez, that would be one damaged woman right there. Any woman that's into that weird stuff, run like hell. That ain't going to end right. She's going to slash her tires. I just went to the grocery store and the sign said no food or drinks inside, so I went home. I call myself the broke bald bastard, the forever bachelor. Red and Mind man, I quit my job as a tax accountant to start a lawn care and property maintenance company. Couldn't be happier. Autonomy is more valuable than money, says Sean M. And you look at your work and you take pride in that nicely fresh cut, trimmed, edged lawn. Sometimes the tangibles of doing hard labor is great. Like when a man fixes a car and gets someone back on the road. There's just something about seeing the fruits of your efforts up front and personal. Nick, why are men the best in any profession or skill? I think our brains are logically geared for that. However, women are very good with nails and women's stuff. Our true nature as men is to be loving and kind to our women and children. However, this modern gynocentric society has bitten the hands that feed them, and now it's time to wake men up and fight back. Well said, Anthony. It's hard not to lose all faith in humanity these days. Yeah. Especially what's going on in the world. The whacked out COVID shit. That's why you got to work on yourself every single day. Don't put your external validation in anything on the outside. Here's what I'm going to tell anyone. The whole end of the world crap, no, it's not going anywhere. The reality is humanity will continue to exist unless the aliens come and destroy everybody. But I think that man will eventually pop through. We're strong. We're a strong species. I got end of the world, last days types people, and I just, it's existed in worse times. Try the bubonic plague. Try what Romans did back in the day. No way. Some guy in an Asian country filed for divorce one day into the marriage because he finally saw her without makeup, stating she lied to him to marry him. He lost everything in the divorce. Well, there you go, Lord. That's what I was thinking. When you put a woman central to your life, you suffer. Yes, you do, because you're not on your game. You're not on your purpose. You're not on your excellence. You're not working on yourself. You're trying to make someone happy. You can't do that. You can only make yourself happy. A 12-month Tinder profile costs $6.66 a month. Is there a significance here? No. No, there's not. Don't fight back, walk away. It will all take care of itself. I agree. With feminism crap, it's going to get worse before it gets better. That's why you got to work on yourself, people. Get out of debt. Be financially healthy. Be physically healthy, mentally and emotionally healthy. You got to be strong. I once met a girl that wanted me to wear a do-rag. Timberland boots and a white beater while slapping her in the bed. Oh, my God. Oh, that image, FJT. And were you going to say, and chill to the next episode? That's funny. Oh my gosh. There's this really cool guy up here in where I live. He's this black guy. I think he played for Weber State. He's like 6'5". He's the coolest dude. wears a do-rag, he's got the glasses, wears a wife beater. I think he wears Timberland. But he always parks the car where I get my soda pop. And him and I have fist bump. I've talked to him. He's always in a Beamer, but he's always playing Jodeci or Montel Jordan or Barry White. And he leaves his car running, and it's playing loud in the speakers. Oh, he's just a hoot. So that's what made me think about that, FJT. Do-rag. That's funny. JP, in the house, a guy in China successfully sued his wife for ugly kids. This can't be real. She had thousands of plastic surgery before he met her. I'm killing you guys are killing me. Why do they move on so quickly? McTowski in the house. You are the plastic bag that holds her newest phone. The plastic bag is now trash. God, that's a good analogy, brother. Well said. The vaccine will kill people by the masses. It's about population control. Could be right. We lied, get jailed. They lied, get rewarded. And those judges, man, those simps, those authorities, no chance of successfully suing in the West. Not in family court. Very difficult. Oh, shit, that's funny. For FJT. Dude, you guys got to bust out the do-rag too. You guys can't make this shit up. But you also have to put on like an NBA, like a New York Knicks, like what do they call it? One of those coats with the big like, you know, logo on the back or something. You can't leave me hanging when then you take that off. You cut the wife beater. Oh my gosh. I mean, I've seen dudes, and I'm in Utah. We don't have a lot of black dudes out here, but I've seen them like wearing the Timberlands and the baggy jeans and the wife beater. Is maybe chicks dig it? I don't know. I remember that ugly kid story. That's killing me, guys. In theology, end of the world is triggered by conditions similar to what Noah was living. I imagine something worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. There's some gnarly stuff that happened back in the days, man. Go look at Caligula and all that crap. So when Civil War starts, make sure the courts get burned down. You know someone's going to do that. Someone's going to take their aggression out. What's Sodom and gonorrhea? Mr. Sammy, Pop, Contra, they boast about when they erected the Georgia Guidestones. I remember those. Give the Brooklyn Razzle Dazzle Timberland boots special. Now, do you tie your boots? Because if you tie your boots, man, you lost it. To me, the axe up. You can't tie your boots. But did you? Hold on. You need FUBU too. FUBU and FILA. Don't forget your FILA. Soon the midterms will be coming up, and I bet there will be a brand new virus, a new lockdown. I'll be watching Delta Force again. Something's coming down, man. They're going to probably pull the old, there's a new variant, everyone's on lockdown. Don't quit, persevere. Thanks, brother. It's funny in here. The Old Testament was scary. Yes, it was. Read about it. Look up the mixing of the kind. Shimmer as giants. Fascinating. Yeah, we don't really know what happened back then, but you know, I believe that there's other beings that are not of this earth, and I believe that there are giants. They found bones that were 8 feet tall. If all men quit their jobs, then we can sit at home and let women work while we chill. Let's do it. Might as well. Nothing left to lose, says Levigi. They're already talking about lockdowns again. I heard California is trying to lock it down. Stupid. Single motherhood should be taxed. Bastard tax, which is an 18-year monthly payment to the government for single mothers when women are held accountable specifically financially. Yes. So does that mean the vaccines were ineffective? What the fuck is in the vaccine? You know, it takes 5 years for an FDA to approve any new drug or vaccine. It was approved. It wasn't even approved. Who knows what's in it? It probably is going to make you grow 3 arms or something. I got Fubu's and Fila's. Wasn't Fubu started by that one guy on Shark Tank? The black guy with the earrings? I like that guy. Stands for us, by us. Is that right? God was out of control in the Old Testament. Damn right he was. The variant is a lie because the original is done. There was no such thing as the original. It was just a different flu they called COVID. Now, British Knights. Yes. How about Benetton? Oh, I was going to say something else. The best attire was Run DMC with the Adidas and the sweatpants and the big gold chains, man. I loved Run DMC back in the day. And the Beastie Boys try to copy it too. So, British Knights, that's funny. Are those even around? And I heard Reebok just got bought by some professional athlete, some black guy, and another black dude. I wonder that's cool. Aborted fetus is the vaccine. Something's in it, man. I'm not taking it. She was into some crazy fantasy. She liked to play teacher, doctor. She even once wanted me to pretend like I was something her. Oh, I got it. Seriously, scary stuff. Dude, there's some whacked out chicks, man. I can tell you stories. You can get 14% more Tinder matches if you get the vaccine. Just fake it. Fake it till you make it. Look up Cliff High and Vaxcidents. I'll have to check that out, Redmine. Do they still make Reebok shoes? It was just sold. Just sold to some new group. The Fubu owner from Shark Tank admitted he designs jeans to deteriorate quickly, so people have to buy more. Yeah. We live in a consumeristic and consumable. Washing machines are consumables now. They last for 3 years. Refrigerators, 2 years and they need to fix it right after they go out of warranty. I agree there should be a penalty tax for whatsoever files for divorce, a tax for unwed single moms, a tax for 304. That would be nice. Maybe we'll see some difference. Do they still make starter gear? I think so. That vaccine is the virus. It's all about pushing it, but they never push better eating and drinking because everything is a Band-Aid. Nobody looks at the root cause. Guys, I've never had that problem of getting sick because I keep healthy. I fast. I eat 80% good. 20% I allow myself to have burgers and pizza and French fries. Rumor has it that everyone that got the pokey will be smoked in 2 years because the body can't produce a protein anymore and will run out. You know what, Lord Spawn? You might be onto something, man. I don't know. I'm not taking it. F no. I have an immune system. Exactly. Lisa Smith, all the way from great city of Kansas City. I identify as vaccinated. Well, I identified as full head of hair. You just can't see it. Some hairy vodka is the cure for everyone. That's what they say in Russia. In sci-fi movies, the virus is in the vax. Wink, wink. Go look at that movie. What was it called? I'll have to figure out what it was. It was about a disease that wiped everyone out. De Toro. I wouldn't marry Margaret Robbie or Halle Berry, let alone these mediocre chicks. I wouldn't get married at all. Smirnoff and Absolute. How about Tito's? She was an older woman too. She once asked me if I was over 18. She said, "Well, even if you're under 18, I wouldn't care." Double standards, right? FJT. I don't need a vaccine. I played in the mud in the 80s. There you go, my man. Remember back in the 80s when we played Smear the Queer at recess in the rain and the mud, and somebody got smeared. So if in 1 year a new super virus comes around, I can see that being true. Vax people kicking the can. They're going to be kicking the can. Damn right they are. Cliff High says people are going to temporarily spaz out and glitching, having seizures during their daily lives, causing all kinds of chaos. Something about the spike protein. Yep. And I don't believe they can. You just say, like, if they try to vaccinate you, say, no, I'm religious. My religion doesn't allow me to. The Fauci ouchie is not for me, F.A. Salcero. Good to see you, brother. That vaccine is going to be triggered by 5G. There's a lot of conspiracy, man. Now they're saying it was invented in Wuhan. Isn't that interesting? Trump said that. Now they're saying it was. Smear the Queer, man. Who played that? Kick the Can. We used to play that at night, too. Kick the Can was a fun game at night. Oh, my gosh, we loved playing that. Street hockey. Used to play ball in the middle of the cul-de-sac. Everyone come out, play with a tennis ball, baseball. You hit that tennis ball like a million feet. FUBU, effed up beyond use. There you go. Sounds like their genes are. Those were the days. Remember the big Laffy Taffies that were like the size of they were huge. They were square and like there was like 10 of them. Like in today's deal. We used to eat Laffy Taffy and Tootsie Rolls and Dark Minds in the house. I've seen a lot of roads being paved the last couple of weeks and have not seen a woman on site. You know, I had my roof redone and I didn't see one lady here. When regular coronaviruses come along in the winter like common cold, the vaccinated people's immune system will start attacking the body. Mr. Nick, you might be right. Men, stop asking what females bring to your table because it doesn't matter. The court system will always favor her. Don't sign the contract. Well said. I trust Fauci and Kamala with my life. They have my loyal support. I love them like mama and papa. Frisbee tag, absolutely. How about ultimate frisbee? We were playing that in high school. That was fun too. And ice blocking. Has anybody ever done ice blocking? You get a big block of ice and you ride down on a hot day, typically in a cemetery, with rolling hills of grass with the towel on top of it. Man, those are fun days. Can you repeat answer from your title? Muhammad Farhan. How can they move on so fast? Because of female nature. The female brain operates differently than the male brain. The male brain uses logic. The female brain uses emotion. That is why they move on, and the man is stuck literally like a deer in headlights trying to figure out what happened because we're using our logical, analytical mind to try to fix something. That is why. I want Kamala to read my bedtime stories at night and tuck me in. After she's tucking in Willie Brown, I choked on Laffy Taffy when I was a kid. Remember Laffy Taffy? And Now and Laters were huge too. And the Red Hot Fire Atomic Ball. Oh, and Alexander the Grape and Boston Baked Beans and Lemon Heads and Cherry Heads. Cherry Chan. Remember Cherry Chan? They were right next to Lemon Heads. Whether she has big tatas or grand culasso, don't marry her. Don't be fooled. Laffy Taffy, jokes are on the rappers. That's right. That's right, they were. King of the Hill, fist fights were a rite of passage. Attaboy, Timmy. Society is designed to take men's money. Society is designed to take men's money, especially in court. Teddy Boy Smith, what do you think of Ivor Smallin? I have no idea what that is or who that is. I'm assuming it's somebody. They weaponize the virus politically to get Trump out. This is nothing new. Scientists know these masks are very ineffective, keeping people from getting sick. It's false hope. I've seen two women at the construction site of the entrance to town holding the slow and stop signs. When Gwen Stefani comes over, Rad's going to wear his FUBU boots and limited edition do-rag for her. Hell yeah, I am. I'm waiting for her to come and hang out after she monkey branches from Blake Shelton. They say birds are dying on the East Coast. Is it 5G or the vax? 5G. A 40-year-old male friend got the J&J vax a couple months ago, was very sick, within 24 hours was hospitalized with whatever you call that for 4 days. He recovered but suffered pain for weeks. He was probably pretty healthy too. Birds die off for nothing new. Vax and 5G got nothing to do with it. Interesting. I want Kamala to sing to me about Fauci ouchie. Remember those Warhead candies? Yes. Okay, how about the candies with the Japanese rice paper candies? Those were gum too. Pop Rocks, now and laters. Love me some of that. How about Chico sticks? In the UK, people are having the vaccine, but I have not. Too many people at work have been ill and work since they had it. Cheapo Corona has exactly. It's a 99.6% for survival. Stupid. She got fupa. No baloney pony. Pop Rocks under the tongue. Put Pop Rocks. Remember the old myth? If you put Pop Rocks in like soda, it'll blow up. Or no, if you drink soda pop with Pop Rocks, your stomach will explode. Warheads were the stuff. I remember those. How about Zots? Remember Zots? That would pop in your mouth. It came on that string with like 5. You get them for like 20 cents. If her toddy's got stretch marks, no baloney pony. How many time remain from this stream? Well, we'll go for a little bit longer. We'll see. Remember the Garbage Pail Kids? Yeah. Victor Vomit and Rotten Ralph. No, Rotten Ronnie. He was one of them. And Stinky Sally. Oh, I love the Garbage Pail. They make me laugh still. You ever get head with her eating Pop Rocks? That's never happened with me. Pop Rocks given to a 1-year-old is fun. Pop Rocks are great, man. All those different colors. Anyone remember saying Bloody Mary in a bathroom mirror with the lights off? I think I did. We used to play the Ouija board all the time. Chico sticks was made by my family. Atkinson's. Interesting. Yeah, I like Chico sticks. They were interesting. Pixie stick as well. Yep. Garbage Pail Kids were awesome. Damn right they were. I can attest fat women are not that good in bed. Sometimes you get a nice, thick, fit woman, but those are rare. I just think there's too much cushion. I don't know. I need someone a little bit toned. I used to tease those cards. Garbage Pail Kids. How about Cabbage Patch Kids? Remember my dad tried to get one for my sister for Christmas that year they came out, and it was like people were getting in fights and everything. Corroded Carl, Bet Ben. That's right. Victor Vomit. Who knees are stronger, Kamala Harris or Monica Lewinsky? I'm gonna have to go for Kamala on that one. What song Radiohead Creep is a Simp song? Is Creep a Simp song? Probably. Radiohead's got a lot of simpy songs. You ask the important questions of our day, says Adatoro, Lord Spawn, Resabite. Proverbs 21:9, better to live on the corner of a roof than share a house with a quarrelsome woman. Paul, yeah, that's, yeah, absolutely. Topps baseball cards. Wait, wasn't Garbage Pail Kids made by the Topps company? I don't know who made Garbage Pails, but damn, they were funny. Rotten Ronnie was my favorite, and Victor Vomit. Oh, there was another Barf one. Bobby Barf or something. Best feeling sex era was a skinnier older chick, probably in 50s, felt awesome. For you. Wish I still had her number. Do they still sell candies that are effervescent like Alka-Seltzer? Ha! Those would be the Hearts at Valentine's, the Brocs. What's your opinion about Tomboy Girl? Nah, that's not for me because I like feminine girls. If I'm dumb enough to get married again, I'll make my man cave on the corner of my roof. If you get married, we're going to try and send you a parachute, and we're going to kidnap you in the middle of the night and brainwash you into the red pill. Corona is the biggest scam since 9/11. 90% of those deaths have had on average 2.5 pre-existing conditions. Yes, they are. Corona affects 3 groups of people: fatties, old people, and ill people. I would agree. Atom Bomb, I remember that. Atom Bomb, Uzi Susie, Hollywood. That's right. Guys, it's been a great stream. Remember, why did she leave you? Because she did. Accept it. Navigate life by knowing the female brain is different from the male brain, and don't put yourself in the same situation again. The situation that you need to be in is always seeking and chasing excellence to be better financially, emotionally, physically, and mentally. You don't get that way by putting someone central to your life. You don't get that way by not saying no. Remember Penthouse used to borrow Dad's stash before he came home from work? I had a buddy whose dad was in the Playboy and Penthouse. And he kept him on the toilet. It was so weird. I was with a lot of fatties last year, and I say for a fact that peace leaves are loose with no muscle, dark minds. The soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. You got it, guys. She left you because it was just your turn. Good to see everybody today. Remember, don't forget, we are in interesting times. Do not put your investment into something you cannot get it back out of. We might have to see that, Mohammed. I'm out, guys. Chase excellence. Men first.